Hey everybody, it's Christina from Creations with Christina, and today I thought I would share with you what I've done with my craft room since January. I've been working on this little by little. I started in January by painting and then taking out some of the old shelving that was in my closet and putting up different shelving. I'm not going to show you my closet because it's kind of ugly. And then keeping in there the stuff I don't use every day, some of my office supplies, paint. I even keep my Big Shot in there because I don't use that one every day. I only use that when I'm working with my Sizzix dies. But anyway, one of the things I was kind of waiting and not showing you my room redo for is because I wanted to make another trip to IKEA. Last year I purchased my desk, and I love that desk. It's the glass top desk from IKEA. And this year I purchased an Expedite shelving and then also a Besta shelving bookcase. So thought what I would do is just give you kind of a quick overview of my room and show you what it looked like, and then I have a couple storage ideas I wanted to share with you too. Okay, so this is my Expedite, and I love this thing. I want another one for another part of my room, but right now I'm very happy with just one, and I don't even know if I can actually fit another one in here. So, because my room is not very big, so that's why I kind of have to be very organized, because if I don't, things get lost and I forget where things are. I had some of those green boxes that are on the Expedite shelving. I had a few of them from last year, and then I went ahead and purchased some more, and I still need more, but next time I go to IKEA I will get more. So let me just start over here in this corner, and I'll zoom in here. I have just my paper tray ink storage, paper tray ink paper stored there, and then I have two baskets that I use for my quick reach stuff. And then the rest of those boxes are just some embellishments and stuff like that. I'm not going to bore you with all the boring details of what's in each box. One thing I still need to do is label all my boxes because I can't remember right now what's inside them. And then on top of my Expedite is something I've never been able to do before, which is actually keep my sewing machine out in my room. So I have my sewing machine now has its own home, and my Cricut Expression 2 is right there. One of the storage things I wanted to share with you, and this came from move the camera, from my friend Terry, who found it from another YouTube channel. I can't remember the name of the person right now, but anyway, this is Ribba shelving, and it's this unit right here that I have hanging on my wall. I bought 4 of them. I find out now that they do come in different sizes, but my IKEA only had the smaller ones, which was okay. So I bought 4 of them, and I kind of wish I bought more because I have a blank wall right there, and I thought I can add more shelving there, so that'll be in my next IKEA trip. So what I did with this was I put it in the corner, and I have now all of my Lindy Stamp Gang, my Glimmer Mist, and even some of my paint daubers and distress paint stored there. And eventually I'm going to go ahead and get more of those, and I could store other things such as some of my other reinkers and stuff like that. So, but I wanted to share with you that storage idea. And like I said, I got that from Terry, who got it from somebody else's, somebody else's YouTube channel. And if I have the name, I will post a link to her video in the description of this video or over on my blog. So if I can find it, I don't remember exactly where it came from. My next storage thing I wanted to show you is these rails, and I know I've shown you these before in blog posts. And I just wanted to show you what I did a little different. Before I had these out in my room, now I have them behind my door. I purchased a whole bunch of the smaller rails, not the really long ones, and now I can keep them behind my door and I don't have to look at them. So I got a whole bunch of those, and I mainly keep out here just my regular punches. I don't have any of my holiday punches out here. I just really keep those out here. And I still have 2 of the longer rails that eventually, when I redo my closet by painting it the same color as my room and doing stuff like that, I can actually use 2 of those other 2 longer rails to keep maybe my holiday punches out on display there. So one of the other things I purchased this weekend, and this wasn't from IKEA, but this was just from Target, is I never had in part of my ugly radiator. I hate that radiator. Someday I'm going to actually break down and have somebody build me a radiator cover. But I purchased this glass desk from Target. I think it was like $69 or $79. I never had a separate work area for editing videos. I did this all right at my same crafting area, so now I was able to keep it separate. I don't like my bench. That was an $8 stool that I got just for Ethan to have when he comes in my room, or Scott or whoever. So I am using that right now because I have a chair on order, and I'll show you what chair I'm talking about in a minute here. So this area right here is where I have my Clip It Up, and I use that now. I don't take my stamps anymore out of the packaging and put them in CD cases. The only ones I keep in CD cases now are my paper tray ink ones. I do still have my older ones that were in CD cases. I'm not going to try to figure out how to repackage. But this area right here are 4 of the Jetmax cubes, and I got rid of all of the other ones I had in here before, but I kept these because they are perfect for storing the Sizzix Big Shots dies. So I have all of my die cutting stuff right there. I keep my Cuttlebug on top. My Big Shot is in my closet, but that's only temporary, or it's not really temporary. It's only there because I don't use my Big Shot every day. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to share with you was the other thing I got at IKEA, which is this bookcase, and I love it. I'm glad I got it. I was kind of maybe I didn't think it would actually work in here because, like I said, my room is kind of small, but it fits in this one section right here perfectly. That's my curtain to my window, and then right next to it is my closet door. So my problem with my room is everything's broken up because of the 2 windows, 2 doors, that radiator in the corner. So I have to really kind of break things up, which has always been one of my biggest problems in here. So, but what I did was this bookshelf fit in that section perfectly. So I have on here all of my 12 by 12 paper, my solid cardstock, some of my paper pads. I still have to buy more of those Crapper Hopper files so that I can have them going straight across on the shelves there. But for right now, I'm good. The rest of my paper pads are in my closet, and those are ones I really don't. I like them, but I've had them forever, and I don't really go to them very much. So that's kind of what I'm storing on here. And I also have on the very bottom shelf my 6x6 pads, and I know it looks like I have tons of them, but I've been collecting them for a long time. So, and then I also keep some embellishments on here and some flowers and stuff like that. So, but one thing I wanted to show you, and this is going to be one of my storage tips I wanted to show you, are my little Crapper Hoppers and my pattern paper. So let me just pull one of those out of the shelf and show you how I store my paper collections. Okay, so this is one of my files that has all October Afternoon collection kits in it. And I keep everything sorted by company. I used to keep everything in kits, like if it was basic gray, and I kept all the brads and all that together, but I don't do that anymore. I found that I didn't use the stuff, or I felt like I could only use that stuff together with that collection. So spreading it out and putting it with embellishments and stuff like that really helped me learn to use different things with different papers and kind of think outside the box a little bit, I guess. So, but one of the things I wanted to share with you is how I keep my collection separated. So this is my October Afternoon paper pads, or paper collections. And what I did was I have a bag of these storage bags, and I ordered these from eBay. There were 100 of them for, I think, $20, and I split the cost and the bags with my mom's because I really didn't need 100 bags. And they're actually measure 13 by 15. I wanted them a little bigger in case I wanted to put more than one collection in a package. So, which I'm glad I did, because even if I wanted to ever go back and keep all of my embellishments and stuff together, I could do that because there's plenty of room. So, but one of the things I was having a problem was is because they're so tall, that top thing always flapped over. So what I did was, for example, this one right here is Rocket Age and Roadmap. And what I did was is I just took that flap at the bottom and just put tape going across, and now I don't have the envelope being, or the bag being as big as flopping over the top. So, but what I did was is I kept my paper collections, that little tab that they use to hang them up on the store, I cut those off, and I keep the collections in their original envelopes. I used to do it from the bottom, kind of that sticky thing on the bottom. I don't do that because I ended up always getting the paper stuck or ripping the bag, so this really actually helps. So I keep I can keep probably more than 2 collections in the bag. So, but I kind of kept them so that I can look at each side of the bag. So I'm just going to slide this one back inside here. And then they go right inside one of the Crapper Hopper files and then right on my bookcase. So I did, this is all October Afternoon, and then I separated because I have a really bad addiction to October Afternoon paper. So I kind of keep them like that. and they have their own file, and then all my other companies like My Mind's Eye and Bo Bunny and all those other ones that I totally love have, they don't have their own file, but they have their own bags, and they kind of share. They share files. So that was one storage tip I wanted to give you, and I have one more that I want to share. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to share with you is this photo box. I got this at Michael's a long time ago, and I used it for, well, it's meant to hold photos, and it has, I think there's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 boxes in here, and each one of these boxes holds 4 by 6 photos, so you can do one for each month, and it's by Iris. It was $40, but I got it when it was on sale for 50% off, plus I had an additional 20% off coupon, and like I said, I've had this for a while. I had stuff in here, and I'll show you what I kept in here in a second, but I'm going to actually use this one now to actually store photos in. So let me show you the other one. Okay, so this is my other one. Again, I got this at Michael's, and this one's actually bigger, but it costs the same price as the smaller one, and this one holds, I think it's 16 of the photo boxes. And this is what I did with mine. So what I did was, I took all of the little boxes that you would have used to put photos in, and I used my label maker and separated all my embellishments. So I have all of my embellishments kept right in here, which is underneath my desk, and whenever I'm working I could just pull this out and use it for whatever, you know, whatever part that I need from here. So I have my charms in here, I have pearls, so I keep all of my little embellishments that I have a lot of. I have all my Tim Holtz in one container. Well, not all of them, but the bigger ones I have in one container. I keep all of my little brads. These are ones like I've had probably since I started scrapbooking. So they all go in here. I have all my glazed brads. These are the ones that would come with the paper tray, or basic gray. So I put them all in one spot. So now whenever I'm working on something, I could just go through this, pick out what I want to use, and they're not stuck in a collection kit where I would forget about where they were. So I think this is a wonderful storage idea, and I really like having this right at my fingertips, which is right underneath my desk. Alright, the very last thing I want to share with you is my chair. It's a tractor style chair. It's apple green, because if you can't tell, my room colors are teal and green. And I got this, I ordered this online at Walmart, but not too long ago I saw it at Target. And of course yesterday when I went back to get another one, or hoping that I could get one at Target, they didn't have it anymore, so I had to order mine online. So like I said, you can get this at Walmart.com, and then of course if you order it and send it to the store, it's free shipping. So so that is the very quick tour of the updates on my craft room. If you guys have any questions or want to see anything else, let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.